Hello, this is Sir David Attenborough, and today I'd like to talk about two creatures, one from the north and the other from the south. They're known together as Mouse and Weens.
Mouse and Weens and a 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 mouse.
Would you look at that?
Here we are once again.
Brand new day.
It is a brand new day. It's a hot Tuesday, and I'm here with my sister. Welcome, everybody. You have found Mouse and Weens. Here we are.
I'm here with my sister, too.
That's right. I am Mouse. I'm Joelle. I'm the mom one up in San Diego. Up in San Diego. Down in San Diego. South.
You used to correct me on this. I'm Weens. I'm up. Now you've confused me again. Down? I'm up in LA.
I'm down. I'm way down by Mexico. I'm at the border. I'm 30 minutes away.
In Mexico. This is true. And you know what? You used to get so mad at me because I wouldn't do my ups and downs right. But
it's
I
north
really
and
would
south.
see, all right, but the world is spinning. We're in the middle of
I know.
galaxy.
One time you explained it and it finally made sense to me. I was like, oh, that's how you see it. But how did you see it again? I didn't understand. Now I can't remember.
That we are spinning at dizzying speeds in the middle of the universe. And it was hard to navigate what up is down is. Oh, it's hard to navigate what up and down were when I saw it as an orb spinning in space. But I understand the concept of north, south, east, west. But I had to look at it topographically, shall we say.
Yeah. Okay. So you see the surface of the earth and little people standing on it.
No, just a globe that's spinning around in space. A giant ball. Imagine a ball, which I know you do often. Just a ball spinning in outer space. Crazy. We're going very fast, you know.
Right.
And what's north and south and what's up and down at that point? How was your vacation? You just got back from Mexico.
I did. Mexico. I know. I haven't talked to you. I've been dying to talk to you, but we both decided save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.
She's dying. By the way, that's a quote from 16 Candles.
You have good quotes from that.
Dying.
What is that?
What
part?
Scene? Sister? We're talking at the same time.
You know my plight. I watch movies and then I instantly forget them. So unless I've seen it 20 times and then it's like a cultural phenomenon, I won't remember it. So I have no idea.
John Cusack and his buddy, and they're waiting for the news from Anthony Michael Hall about his date with the hot cheerleader girl. And they go, I think his name's Lane Myers. That's the wrong movie. They go, we're dying. That was a big line, but it's the wrong line. Continue with your story. Anybody want to what is the line? Phil Rude would know this.
All right.
Or any Keith.
Join in, anyone, if you know this line. We would like to know.
Okay.
How are you?
Anyway.
First of all, I wanted to hear about life while I was gone. Anything exciting happen in LA?
You know what's interesting is when I've noticed that when I do the same thing every day, which has been doing schooling and sitting on my computer, which is often and a lot of the time, that someone can go around the world and come back and you feel like nothing much has happened, but that other person will have all of this richness. Ladies and gentlemen, leave your house. You're going to have all these stories.
You can't do it that much because then you're excited to come back home and get back to the boring routine. Because it's, it is that weird balance. But I do love traveling. I felt like a new woman. I felt like I was back to real life. Like it really didn't feel like COVID times at all, besides masks everywhere and hand sanitizer everywhere and having to get your nose swabbed before you get back on the plane.
What?
But yeah, it was weird. They force you. You can't get on the plane back to the U.S. from Mexico unless you have a negative COVID test.
Ooh,
and it had to have been taken. Yeah, it had to have been taken within, I think, 3 days of your departure to make sure you don't contract it. Yeah, so they're really safe. It was really good. I liked the whole shebang because I was nervous about it.
Sorry, ma'am. continue your thought. Boy, would I be a bad therapist. Go ahead.
No, I was nervous going into it though. I really was like, I was trying to be cool, like, yay, okay, I got vaccinated. Everything's good. I've gotten my 2 shots. You got your 1, right? Did you get your second one yet?
Nope.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm just going to go half mess.
No, you're not. On the left side, only the left side of you will be.
Yeah. One side's risky, the other side's conservative. Anyway, that's dumb. Go ahead.
But it felt good. I was happy that I did it and went for it. And once everything was in place and we were packed up and ready to go, I was in it to win it. It was fun. It was
all right. So what was the nervous part? Because the logical part says I've got my shots. I'm fine. So the nervous part is what?
Again, it's that I'm going to be a weird carrier. I'm going to catch it and give it to my kids or something because they're not vaccinated, and that they would be the 1% of kids that catch it and something bad happens versus just being like a cold or a flu and then they get through it. So I don't know. It's not logical. It's just weird mama bear brain that I probably need to crack open.
Now, is there any relevance to, there's this article someone was telling me about, which I didn't read, about coming out of the cave and how people aren't really respecting how weird this is, going from what we just went through to all of a sudden the world's kind of back to normal. And
yeah, no, I'm really trying to stay away from the news and not get caught up in any hype of anything. Besides, I see what our county numbers are and talking about the variants and that, the variant has been detected in San Diego and this can happen and that kind of. So it's just like, oh boy, are we going to see another big second wave? I hope not. And I don't want to catch it and I don't want to be a carrier. But really, from where we were last year at this time, it's so different. I feel so much safer and more calm, and like we're just going to get through this. Is there any
psychological aspect to going back in the world in that? Like, do you have cave syndrome? Is there any party that feels like you're coming out of a cave and you need to like
not really
twinkle out with little tiny tiptoes?
I've been twinkling for a few months because the kids have started back up at school a little bit and started back up at sports a little bit. So I've been caving and twinkling just fine. I think
I haven't twinkled at all, and I wonder if I'm psychologically one of the people that's like, I don't know how to do this. Yeah, because I was talking to Blake, and
you're hanging out with other cave people too. You maybe need to branch out to people who are out in the world already back at it.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I feel because it's too much. It's like everything just instantly started up again, and life is very busy here in LA.
I know
it's
why.
Like all the freeways are packed, all that what?
Yeah, I was going to say, you hate traffic. You don't want to deal with cars. Yeah. You don't
and
necessarily love your job. You don't want to have to go back to your job.
No, ever.
You're staying in your college bubble. I get it. I went to college with a guy who stayed there till he was 30.
Oh, I love who?
He was what was his name? Bennett Rana. He was such
Bennett,
a nice
and
guy.
he is in it. Wow, he's a lifer.
He was like our Laszlo. He lived in the closet of sorts.
Laszlo's another reference from the movie Real Genius, the guy who lived in the closet.
That's right. Who I thought looked a little bit like Akello Stone, our last guest.
Oh yeah.
Who we're doing a book giveaway, by the way. I'm going to post that online today. Maybe by the time you hear this, it'll be done. But you guys,
Akello's cool. His whole interview, he just has a thing that he released called "Seeking Selfdom in the Time of Selfies," and that's his book. And then he has a podcast that he just dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
Yes.
We have so much to talk about.
Okay, let's get into my trip. Can I talk about my trip? Yeah. I do.
Explain
I wrote little notes because
excuse my French.
Damn. She's got an agenda, folks. Wow, the producer finally came to the table. All right, go.
I'm coming to the table. Let me get my piece out. Now I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. No, can you explain to the million viewers out there where you went? Because not everybody knows Cabo.
Right. Okay, so Cabo San Lucas is in Mexico. It's the Baja California tip of Mexico. You're such a jerk. And we bought a timeshare. We bought into a timeshare there a few years ago. So we have this this timeshare, although our home base is Puerto Vallarta. So we went there a couple times. This time we switched around and went to Cabo because we have good friends, Carla and her family. Hi, Carla. That also had a timeshare in Cabo. It turns out our resorts were right next door to each other. So
well, would you look at that?
We planned it for last spring break. It was going to happen last April, and before COVID. And COVID came. We postponed till December. We were going to try to see if we could go then. Didn't work. Here we are. We went, and it was great. And we have 3 kids. We brought the kids with us. They have 3 kids, brought their 3 kids with them. So it was a whole thing about how is this all going to work? How are we going to do it? Yeah. And then her sweet husband had a business trip that he had to go to right in the middle of the vacation. So he had to leave. And plot twist, they have a 7-month-old baby. So
what the hey?
Invited her sister out from Indianapolis to come stay and kind of be the baby helper and enjoy the second half of the week after her husband left. So she would have a helper, which she ended up needing because the baby was constipated most of the trip. And
sounds like me, travel bells.
I know, he had little baby travel bells like Weens. And he didn't sleep super well. So she had kind of a rough go. And then she caught a little bug of some sort. And
meaning the sister, because the baby's a boy.
Yeah, she meaning Carla. She ate something bad and had a bad night. But was better the next day. So wasn't anything bad. But yeah, it was interesting because she's not vaccinated. Her husband is. No, she's had 1 shot. That's right. Anyway, we were a big, crazy medley, but it all worked out well. But the airport was pretty nuts. Yeah, I was surprised at how packed it was.
Everybody's leaving.
Yeah, this is traveling with kids, folks. If you're going to travel with kids, just be prepared for it's a lot. Prepared.
Oh, yeah.
That it's a lot like how it used to be. It's really busy and you have to stand in security lines.
This is also spring break.
That's true. It was.
See, okay, this is my thing though. Everybody's been holed up for over a year. And so everyone's now got the green light to go back in the world. And that's why it goes from 0 to 1,000 in my mind. It's very overwhelming.
I guess, but having been through it, you see the protocols they put in place, that most people are super masked up. I mean, it was like double masked at the airport and hand washing stations everywhere you go. They check
I'm just saying,
fever.
It's busy out there. Everybody's vacationing. That's my point.
Yeah. That's true. I know.
The world has gone crazy and everyone's on the freeway, I think, going to the beaches and we're doing it now. So it's just gone from,
I know,
it's a crazy world.
I feel okay with it though. But
okay.
I think that's just because I've done this and I've been out in the world and it felt really clean and safe. And maybe it was like you when you went to Costa Rica and you were trying to explain the same thing to me and I was all freaked out. So yeah, we're switching roles, but.
No, I'm not freaked out about that. It's the amount of people. It's not even about COVID. It's just human beings. There are so many people.
You just like everywhere. The quiet world. You want everyone to go home and stay in their houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so peaceful.
I know.
But why, this is all where you can't complain when you choose to live in a city like LA and ask for it to be quieter and no traffic.
Right.
But it was just such a weird miracle thing.
I know. I'll never forget. I'm saving your video of driving on the freeway when there was no one on the freeway. You were like, look at this. Look at this. It was so weird. It's like when they shut down Times Square for a movie or something. It's so weird. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And it was really neat. I think I'd like to move to the country at some point. But then, okay. Don't worry about it. Let's go back to your trip. Here we go. Trip
All right.
time.
Well, traveling with kids, that was kind of so I want to give advice and I want to help people out there who are going to do this. So by way of my wild and crazy stories, I hope that people learn something. Okay. Tip number 1, we didn't let the kids bring phones. How about that?
The whole time?
The whole time.
Good for you.
Except for one exception. We let the 15-and-a-half-year-old bring it, but it was kept under wraps. He really didn't go on it at all. It was really just kind of a communication device. And he's so cool. I have to give him mad props because he has turned into this. Yeah, he's turned into this little mini adult. He's very respectful. He's super sharing. He shared a bed with Charlotte. In the old days, he would have been like, no, I want the whole bed for myself. He's just coming around big time, and I love it.
Yes.
I had so much fun with him, and he just hung with the adults mostly and the kids, but he was great. So he really didn't show off his phone or anything, and we made a deal with him. Like, you can bring it, but just don't let the other kids see and be all weird about it. And so it's great. And so the kids, we bought them a whole bunch of books. They didn't even end up reading the books, but they had all their Hunger Games and all the stuff ready to go. But they played just like card games and went on. Oh, they did some activity books. And yeah, it was so cute. So it was so nice not having them addicted to screens the whole time.
Yeah.
And
what do you think fostered that? Is it because there was so much to do? Okay, so you were at a resort with a pool and...
Yeah, it's just a big hotel, basically. So nice room with the TV, and it was like a 3-bedroom suite. So it had main bedroom. I don't like to say master bedroom anymore because it's got a racial undertone. Yeah.
Also, don't say Lord God.
Okay. I never did anyway. That's easy.
Okay.
The 2 bedrooms and then the main room with like the living room and the couch and stuff like that and all these pullouts. But they watched tons of cartoons and did their thing. So they had their fix when they would come in from the pool. But there were pools and there were water slides and they had a ton of stuff to do. We went to Vidanta.
First world problems.
I know. We went to Vidanta in San Jose del Cabo, which is up the coast a little bit from like the tip of Cabo, the very south tip. And they did a great job. And then next door was Cabo Azul. That's where Carla's family stayed, which was gorgeous. It was so much prettier than ours. Like, if anyone's going to San Jose del Cabo, look at Cabo Azul. Now, the bad part about them was they did not let the kids really throw the football in the pool. We went and bought a football and totally kept the boys busy and the dads. But it's more of an adulty place. It's real pretty. So they had like one small little children's area, but it was like for the little kids. So that part was kind of lame. So they kept sneaking over to our resort. Now, the sneaking, let me give you some more tips.
Towel cover.
Hide the wristband on your wrist when you go to a resort that doesn't have a wristband, because then they know you're sneaking in from the other one. So we got real good about, I wore my big bangle bracelets to hide my wristband. The kids would all stick their hand in their pockets. Yeah, put the towel over the arm.
Look at you are teaching your kids to sneak. Remember,
I know.
We were a sneaky family too.
I know. It was just that the whole reason we went was to play with this family. But yeah, it was a dumb rule. But I get it. They probably don't want to mingle germs or have people do all their amenities without paying. I get it.
No,
but
it makes sense. But
still,
rules are meant to be broken out.
Yeah, and it was so dumb. It's like we're inviting a whole family of 5 people over to have lunch
to buy their stuff.
Yeah, to buy your stuff. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you jerks.
Encourage that.
I'm angry.
And the timeshare, we had to go to a little mini tiny breakfast thing, talk to them, but it was really nice. They left us alone pretty much. But
Did they sell you? I worked for a timeshare company that you
did. I didn't know
my first
that.
job, I was like 13 or 14, and it was, would you like some property in Angels Crest, California, and we'll give you a free dinner at the Velvet Turtle.
Oh, yeah, the Velvet Turtle. I remember that
Velvet
part.
Turtle. This is where you meet Dink for your dinner at the Velvet Turtle. It just sounds like the Regal Beagle or something. Anyway, continue. Forgive me.
I love it.
Lord God.
So we were dodging timeshare people a little bit because they did want to sit down and talk to us about our contract. But right now during COVID, they aren't really allowed to sell anything. So they were it was like timeshare light.
What else are they going to sell?
I don't know. They did some weird thing to our contract. We have to figure it out. I think they tried to downgrade us without telling us so that they can upgrade us because we had the highest tier package. I don't know. It's this whole thing we have to work out. Lawyer Dave is on it. He's going to take over.
Yeah.
But
I'll sue everyone.
Yeah. So that was fun. We did all the settling in and the kids were good. They,
highlights.
Got in their room. I know. They played a lot of hallway tag. Now, parents out there, do you let your kids play hallway tag? The old me would have been like, no, be quiet. Everyone's trying to take a nap or having sex in their room. Leave them alone. They don't want to hear kids. But this trip, I was like, who cares? Run around. They were running all over the place, hide and seek, going in elevators. And I kind of was okay with it. Would you have been okay with it? You would have let that happen, right?
I don't know. I can't tell anymore. I don't remember what it's like to leave my house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd probably pretend I didn't know him and then just go hide somewhere. I don't know.
The real
That's my parenting style.
Assertive way to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of let them run all over. They got real comfortable going between the two resorts. But in Mexico, I'm always like, ugh. But I don't know. They're big enough. So we got kind of loose with that, but they were good. They were good. And we would always check with each other. Did they make it over there? Yep, they're here. Okay. They got kicked off the water slide.
How is it in Mexico? What is it around? Like once you leave your resort, is it
Well,
sketchy?
I don't know. As a parent, you always hear the worst case scenarios in the news, right? Like all the drug cartels and kidnappings and this happens, that happens, or child trafficking. So in the back of your mind, it's always like, keep an eye on those girls or, just watch the kids.
I wonder in Cabo if it's
so resorty. It's so touristy there. And I do feel like it's fine. But then, there's that little voice that's just like, this is a little risk, but it always works out. Knock on wood. Where's some wood? There we go.
Copy.
But
you
what
don't
else?
Were they like off on their own, these children ever?
No. They always were around us to a degree or within the resort, like one pool over, and they would run back. Yeah. I mean, they're like 10, 11, they're 10 and up. So 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 15 and a half. Yeah. So I think back to how I was at that age, and I was running all over the place doing everything by myself. I felt.
Yeah, because we would get kicked out of the house and come back at dark.
Locked out, I know. And we never went on vacations like this. Oh, my God. We would go to like one Motel 6.
Grandma's house and watch Grandma Jean's turtle across the street. That was the big highlight. Sorry, Mom. I'm just kidding.
I'd go to Disneyland with Allie's family because they traveled.
Yeah, you got to go to Disneyland.
I was the tag-along friend that got the sweet amenities from that. But yeah, so these kids are so spoiled. So spoiled. But it is fun. It's
Do
nice
they act
to go
like
to.
spoiled kids? Or are they?
No, they actually
You never
don't.
know.
I don't think they do. They would ask me, can I get this? And it's like an $8 pen or something with like a little turtle on the end. All these turtles.
Turtles.
And I'm like, no, $8 for a pen. That's ridiculous. So I try to keep it down to earth and normal. But they were getting a little willy-nilly with the smoothies. They go to the swim-up bar and order strawberry smoothies. And
willy-nillers.
Yeah, right? So they had their time, but it's only going to last a week because now I crack back down now that we're home.
Yeah. Now they get nothing but soup, porridge. That's good, though. So you went kayaking, right? That was a good highlight.
Yeah. Wait, I want to talk about the hotel more, though. I want to know from parents. I really do. So there's the hallway tag. Do you let your kids go out by themselves? Sneaking between resorts, would you be cool with that? And the kids getting kicked out. They got kicked out for playing football and kicked off the water slides because they weren't listening to the rules. So then I'm like, am I that jerk family that has those loud kids? But then again, it's our vacation and we pay so much. Should they be allowed to do
jerks?
Things? Yeah. And I
ruin everybody else's vacation? Yes.
I know. And I couldn't tell. I don't think we were getting stink eye, but maybe we were. It's always an interesting
I would imagine
thing.
there are other kids going nuts too, though. Were you the only ones?
There was
really
like one other
out?
kid that sidled up to Toby. He was like his age. And so he started throwing the football with him. And it was just a football game, just like 3 flies up or whatever. So it was fine. I don't know. I think old people just are curmudgeon-y and want to complain about stuff. And they didn't really even complain. It was the resort people who came and kicked them out. So I don't know. It's like a fine line between what's cool and what's not. Anyway,
were there other
I'm
people
just
being
curious.
loud and having fun? Or was it just your kids?
There were a couple kids, but not as loud as ours. Because there were 6 of us, and they're loud kids. The Carla family has some lungs on them. So, it's a lot of yelling. And they were playing a big competitive game. I don't know. Right? But that's why they have kids' pools and adult pools. Like maybe the resort managers should look at that and go, oh, we do need a place for teenagers to go or something.
Yeah, it's called the Cone of Silence. Stick one on the airplane too.
Yeah. Oh, and then we traveled with the sweet baby who did great on the trip there, but on the trip back, I think it was travel bells. He was teething. And he found his voice. It was so funny.
Oh.
He would want something, and he would, I'm going to pull away from the mic here. He would be like,
just like an old man.
do this growl, and then just kind of a little whine. Yeah, but he was great. I mean, everybody understands. But I took turns walking him up and down the aisles, but poor Carla was like, ugh. But she was a champ. I don't know. It all worked out. It was fine. I just feel bad.
Yeah, overall, no deaths or injuries.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now, Weens, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
First of all,
The answer is yes.
Let's hear a word from our sponsor real quick. Here we go.
Hey!
Dream Dinners.
My answer is yes.
We are sponsored by Dream Dinners. Oh my gosh, you guys. Everybody go to dreamdinners.com right now. I'm giving you the biggest life hack, the game changer that really made me feel good about family meal times again. Dreamdinners.com or mouseandweens.com to get the link and enter mouseandweens99 at checkout. If you're in the local area of Poway or San Marcos, you will get $99 off your first full order, and you can choose to have free delivery while we are in shutdown. But Dream Dinners is a meal prep service. It's different than the others. It doesn't come necessarily fresh in a box, and if you don't cook it right away, it rots. It's already wonderfully prepared in bags, and you pop them in your freezer, you pop them into your fridge when you're ready to thaw them out and cook them up, and you have yourself a nice, fresh, gourmet dinner on the table that's really easy to prepare, about 20-30 minutes. Anyone can do it. The kids do it. Dave helps me do it. The foods are so great. The meals are wonderful. Charlotte was just saying how excited she was to see a bunch of our new Dream Dinner bags ready to go for the week. So she couldn't wait for our mealtime, which is what I want as a mom, and I hope you do too. This is also great for single folks and even for your parents if someone's older and doesn't want to spend a lot of time shopping, prepping, cooking. This is the perfect option for them. So do go to dreamdinners.com, enter mouseandweens99 at checkout if you're local. Otherwise, choose your location and just go for it. It's not a subscription. You can end anytime, but go to dreamdinners.com and change your life. Okay, yay!
Hot dog.
Dream Dinners. I really do love it, Weens. We gotta get more people signing up for this. They've had some signups.
Me!
So thank you, you guys. Mouse and Weens 99. All right.
Do they deliver?
They do. They have small serving sizes too for like one person. They'll give you 3 servings. It's like,
Well, what if I decide to have an orgy?
yeah, perfect for a threesome. There you go.
An orgy of friends, I mean. That means a gathering, guys. Settle down.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
You perverts.
All right. Now, parents, I have more questions. Weens, I have questions. When you travel, do you use the little hotel gym? Do you work out?
Seems that I usually stay at rat-infested dirt holes. No, I'm just kidding. It would depend, but probably not, because usually if I'm going somewhere, I like to be out on the streets.
Yeah.
So often I would.
You're hiking, you're walking, you're doing your exercise out and about.
But I don't usually go to resorty places.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't go to places where you're self-contained in the place, where you have a gym and you're casual. And it's usually places like in Europe or somewhere else where you're getting up and then you're out doing things in the day. I would say overall. I don't think I've stayed at a lot of resorty places.
Resorty. Yeah, so that was me too, kind of. I was like, we did the kayaking thing, which I chose out of all the activities. We could have got jet skiing and this and that, but I was like, let's do kayaking because at least it's a workout. It was so cool. It was so great. We got to go down to actual Cabo itself. We kayaked out to the arch. They stopped at a little beach and we got out and we got to snorkel and see all the fish. It was pretty cold, but it was still great. And there were little jellyfish floating around, which was kind of freaky.
Ooh, you don't want that.
Yeah, but we were away from them a little bit. You see them when you kayak. You like squish them with your oar. You should have seen Toby. He was my partner, and he was trying to like pick them up on the oar. I'm like, dude, you think you're going to pick up a jellyfish on a slippery oar? No. But It was cool. It was like a little scene from Nemo or something. And
did you scuba?
Did not scuba.
Snorkel?
Snorkeled. That's what I just said. We went and saw the fish.
Oh, I wasn't listening. I tuned out because I was thinking of jellyfish. But also, when your family goes snorkeling, it's called dorkeling.
That's what you were doing. You were thinking of your great joke that whole time, weren't you? I know.
I was trying to formulate something, yes. Ooh, I just slapped myself on the hand. Yeah. You're cool. Nice. Oh, stop. Yeah. No, you are. Stop talking to yourself. You sound crazy. Okay, now we're good. Go ahead.
But yes, kayaking was fun. Then we did some fishing, deep sea fishing, which was not really a workout. A little bit of bicep work. But the guys there, they do all the like baiting and the putting the lines out. And when they hook them, then they pull you over and they're like, "Okay, pull it in." So you really don't do a whole lot of work. I felt kind of bad. It was like,
Did you also feel bad clubbing a fish over the head?
No, we didn't club any fish. They just put them in a nice little tank. Mm. Yeah. Charlotte was so cute with the fish, though. She got real attached to the chum, to all the little minnowy things. But they were mostly dead. But then she started doing puppet shows with them, which was hilarious. And then I think we each caught 2. And they were mostly mackerels and then these red snappers. And so they weren't that big, maybe the size of my arm from my finger to my elbow. But Toby did catch one, I forget the name of it, but it almost looked like an angelfish. It was cool, but it was too small and we threw it back. And then we donated them.
Is that a rockfish?
To the, no, it was like, it looked like it was beautiful. It was white with like pointy fins on the top and bottom and a real pointy, I have a picture of it. I put it on, it's on Instagram already somewhere. Anyway, yeah, I do feel bad for the fish, but then again, it's food and.
For who?
Well, we gave them to the fishermen. We were going to take them back to the hotel and see if they prepare them, but we weren't sure if they would. So we gave them to the fishermen. And it's nice knowing they go to the local economy. Someone can make money off them or eat them. Mm-hmm. And the best part of the fishing trip was this dog, this little street dog that lived at the docks. It was the cutest thing, total Mexican street dog, but it had one floppy ear and one ear that stood straight up. Aww. And it would trot along. And there's the guy there that works at the dock and he has this cart and he brings the gasoline to all the boats and he brings, whatever the guys need. He's like a service guy at the dock, but he's really interesting. He looked like he'd been through a fire or something. So he already had this interesting look and he loved this dog. And he was telling us all about this dog. And the dog, when we came back, he waits by all the boats because he loves to eat the fish heads. So you'll throw a little fish out to him and it'll be flopping on the dock and he'll pounce on it and then rip its head off and eat it. And then there's a little like taco lady that scoops up the body that he left behind, rinses it off and puts it in her bucket.
Wow.
It was the craziest thing. Yeah.
Then Carla gets food poisoning.
Right. And you wonder where this came from. Yeah. Exactly. No, it was wild. It was like the kids were just slack-jawed watching this whole thing. And then the guy, the little cart guy, there was one fish that the dog wouldn't go after. And so the guy was trying to like bring it back to life or do something. And he just put the fish in his mouth. He sucked its eyes out and then he threw it in the ocean. What? I don't know what, but just, yeah. Like sucked its eyeballs out.
That makes no sense.
And
did he eat the eyeballs?
I don't know. I think so. No. He sucked something and then he spit it out and he threw the whole thing in the ocean.
Makes no sense.
I know. All the kids and I just went, oh, what? And it was like, did we just see what we saw? It was the weirdest thing. I don't know what the point was. If anyone knows why you would suck a fish head real quick and throw it back, please tell me. Fisherman Dave, what does that mean?
Yes.
But
boy.
Yeah, it was good though. Toby and I took Dramamine for the trip because we both get seasick. Charlotte did not, but because she was standing backwards looking in the fish bins the whole time and then all that gasoline smell comes up and then she got a little bit sick. So she had to lay down for like 10 minutes and then she was fine. But
your kids are tough.
Good. Yeah. And then Dave fancies himself a pirate. He just is like, oh, get your sea legs. And he stands there all wide-legged and proud of himself. I'm like, shut up. So, but it was so pretty. It was so nice. So yeah, everyone should go.
I saw some pictures.
Fishing down there. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
It's just a really clear looking ocean too. It was gorgeous.
Beautiful. Yeah, you can look down and just see for days. It was that real aquamarine blue. So pretty. And kind of a cool community. All the boats pull up next to each other. Everybody knows everybody. And you kind of watch what the other guy's pulling in and kind of troll over to his way, and we didn't catch anything
So it didn't
big.
get boring because you went for a week. Was there any time, because it was kind of
No.
self-contained, was there any time where you're like, oh, I wish
Never. No, it was
Yeah,
a lot of
good.
pool time. So if you like pool time, that's good. I just brought my phone and I would do posts and stuff. So I felt like I was still kind of working toward podcasty stuff. So that was my busy thing.
So is this just a different experience? What do you like about the resort style vacationing? Is it because the kids are
I'll tell you, kids are all interacting and playing and creating memories. Number one, that's it. That's why we do family vacations. Memories. Number two, it gets them out of their daily routine, off screens, doing stuff. I don't have to cook. I love that. That is huge. There's no agenda. I don't have to drive anywhere, do anything. I love just being off, clocking out, sleeping in, like whatever. Vacation is so key. We need this, you guys.
Well, some people would go like, let's bring the kids to Germany and we'll take them to museums.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. I want to do that. That's
that
what we're
just
doing
a
this
different-
summer. We're gonna go
are
to,
you? Okay.
Yeah, we want to go to England and Sweden.
I'm just wondering what the difference is between I mean, I would imagine it's just self-contained and you don't have to think about anything when you're at a resort.
Yeah, but then we
Versus-
did plan our excursions. So we did that. We
Yeah.
did the kayak, the fishing. We also did, we went to this place called Flora Farms. Okay, everybody stop what you're doing. Go on the internet, look up Flora Farms. It's amazing. If anyone goes to Cabo, you have to go here. It's a 25-acre organic farming community owned by a family. It has residences there. People can like rent homes or whatever. These cute little huts that are made out of hay. It's really neat. They have livestock, all organic, which they use for food. They used to supply all the restaurants in Cabo, all the fancy restaurants and fancy chefs, but then they started their own restaurant, which is now on site. So they have this gorgeous restaurant there. They have a farmer's market. They sell a lot of their wares. It's a wedding grounds. They have a spa there. They have culinary classes. They had little shops. Oh my gosh. I died and went to heaven. I came away from that place that day going,
Inspired.
Dave, if and when we retire, this is what I want to do. I want to buy a plot of land in a weird spot next to tourists because, you know, it's there in Cabo,
Yeah.
but it's a little ways away. And you can see the valley right next to it. It's just this barren, ugly, deserty area, but it's got a little strip of green running through the middle of it because there is water down under there. And so if you can irrigate that valley, grow it up into this beautiful, lush thing where you're growing your own food, your own animals, and there's like an income stream with weddings and events and yoga retreats and all. It was so cool. I loved it. I loved
Costa
it.
Rica is a place where I looked into real estate once
Oh,
because I know a couple
see?
people who live there, and you could do it there too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. So everyone needs to go there if and when. Although I kind of don't want to tell people because it's like a cool secret spot. But
Yeah.
I think it's getting out. People are learning about it. So cool. But so that was cool. So I feel like we had enough excursions to break up the laying by the pool stuff where it
Yeah.
didn't feel like that. And then we would walk across the street and get dinner out, you know, a little taco place. And I went to the pharmacy across the street too. We didn't do a lot of shopping, but I did at the pharmacy because I freaking popped my ear on the plane coming in and it was draining. I couldn't hear out of it. I still can't hear out of it.
Sick.
Yeah, it's a middle ear infection, I found out. It's full of fluid and it hurts like a mother. But while I was at the pharmacy, I picked up, that's the other good thing about Mexico, folks. You can get cheap prescriptions that aren't prescriptions. You just go and buy them. A big tube of Retin-A for my wrinkles.
Yeah, nice.
And that stuff's expensive. So I got that. What else? I wrote some notes because I didn't want to forget anything. Oh, sunburns, sweet little Charlotte and her freckles. I'm going to post a picture, but if anyone has any fair-skinned kids, tell me if this is a normal thing. I got her a long sleeve rash guard and a hat. You know, I'm like, cover up. Nope, she's 10. She's trying to be cool with her 11-year-old, 12-year-old friend, and she stripped down to her bikini and got sunburnt. Oh, the poor girl. She's so fair. And I don't know what to do. It's like you try to teach them about wrinkles and skin, but they're so little. So I'm like getting her zinc.
You can't, there's nothing that stays on all day sunscreen.
Well, I try what I can. I get that zinc stick, which is the white stuff that's, surfers use and all that. And I get her to smear that everywhere. It just rubs off, and they're playing and they're putting things on and off and towels. And
even those heavy duty sports ones that are waterproof. Like all that stuff doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't know. So if anyone has a good one that they love, please let me know. Because, God, it's a fight. And usually she's so sweet and goes with the flow, but she fights me on the sunscreen. She just gets so mad about it. Like, Mom. Because I think her friend, too, is so dark. She doesn't have to worry about it as much.
Yeah.
So it's hard. That part's hard.
But it's also,
the boys and their personalities, they got super competitive about stuff for a while. And I had to leave this really nice dinner because they were just squabbling the whole time.
Your kids?
That was kind of, yeah. Well, it was Elliot and then Carla's son, who's Elliot's age. And it feels like they're just like brothers, They're
like a little married couple.
Yes. The Bickertons. We call them that. They're like little old men. And they were going at it and they just wouldn't stop. And so I like kind of ruined dessert at this nice restaurant by leaving. But I also was like, you know what? It's just going to bring me down. I'm going to go for a walk. And it was so great. And I went out to the beach by myself and I laid on this little beach bed and watched for whales, which, by the way, is my dream to see a whale breaching. And people were like, oh, did you see the whale jump? Did you see the whale breach? This has been going on for 15 years where I look away, a whale will jump, and I'll look back and there's no whale. And it drives me freaking crazy.
Ugh.
And that's all I want in life. I dream about whales. It's a whole whale thing.
Oh my God.
And
mine's with the Beastie Boys. I would always just miss like a free concert or someone had tickets.
A lot like
or
a
someone.
whale.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. You should know the Beastie Boys. I feel like, you would have already.
There were a million times where it was like, because, especially with Warren and the musician boyfriend, and we would just like miss them. They'd be playing at a festival. They just left.
Yeah.
You just missed them 1 second ago or whatever.
And you live down the street from their recording studio. You'd think that, wow.
And now it's not going to happen. And it was, 30 years of this.
Listeners out there, if we should start a GoFundMe for a whale watching Beastie Boys cruise,
yes,
let us know if you'd be interested. I would love that. All right.
Aww.
Yeah.
Your whales are, I'm sorry, I just took your magical.
No. Whales and Ad Rock are wonderful things. I love it.
Yes.
Is he your favorite Beastie Boy?
Always.
Yeah.
Just because, he was, it was the cute little New York boy that I've always fantasized. I think that goes back to childhood, being friends with Robbie Grunman, the guy from Fountainhead, my little buddy. Because I think, why do I love these little
hot 4-year-old Robbie? I remember him.
Anyway,
I'm gonna find
the point is, who knows why? Because I like all these little like brown-eyed, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Point is, MCA was the sweetest one, I think, and Mike D was apparently Didn't you watch the documentary on them?
Not yet.
I heard it's great.
I think it's on Apple TV. I need to watch it before my subscription runs out. I have a free year.
And Crip Camp, which is amazing.
Ooh, very good.
Or Camp Crip.
All right, closing up my travel talk. Can I just finish my thought? All right, parents, one more question. Okay, 2 more. 3 more. What have you left behind in hotel rooms? Because every trip we leave something. Usually it's cords. This trip, guess what I left behind? I'm so sad.
Elliot.
No.
The poor middle kid always gets it.
No, my new soft headband earphones.
Joelle, you love that thing.
I know, but I instantly came home and ordered another one, and it already arrived, so I'm okay. But I think I left it under the pillow. I didn't check under the pillows for my things.
Someone's going to have a nice gift that they're going to say, what
but they don't
the
have the cord. This? I don't know. It's going to be hard to plug it in. Charlotte left behind some tennis shoes. So we donated tennis shoes. And then we left behind a nice tip for our housekeeper.
Oh.
Because we also stole all the little shampoos. Do you clear out a hotel room when you travel, folks, listeners, Weens?
Yeah, you paid for it.
Right?
It's usually shitty shampoo and stuff anyway. So the amount you pay versus what they...
I'm such a cheapskate weirdo. I even bring extra baggies with me to there so I can fill them up with the little shampoos, bring them back.
It's called a hoarder. This is our...
But no, you know what I do with them mostly? I either travel again with them, so they're tiny little shampoos, or I pack up the little sanitation packs and give them out to homeless people. So meh.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do little activities at the school. We pack up those things.
You're okay in my eyes.
Blankets and jackets. Thank you. And a tiny bit of a hoarder, but that's okay. Yeah. And then, okay, who else? Traveling. Things get delayed. You miss a flight. Flights don't work.
Period.
Planes. What? Planes don't work.
Pregnant.
Our plane. Can I just tell you? Okay, talk about your period. What? I know you want to say something.
I was just saying, if that's what gets delayed. Well, in case you got pregnant on your trip. Anyway, go ahead. The plane is late.
Oh, which brings me to my last point. Okay, but
You're
back
welcome.
to planes. Planes often don't work. Or something happens, or they have to check it, or they don't feel safe to fly, which in my book, great. I'm happy that they are checking the plane, and I don't want it to fly off. Well, we got on our return plane after our COVID test, all negative, thank you. And like the power just shut off, and it was super hot. We were all finally in our seats. All the luggage was put in the overhead storage
all the
bins.
Smells.
The baby was settled in. Everything was good. And then the power shut off. So we had to deplane, go to a different plane, which everybody groan. But I'm like, fine. You know, I'm glad they're checking. We get on the next lineup, you know, we're trying to get on the plane. And it's one of these airports where you have to get on the bus, which drives you to the plane out on the tarmac. And then you walk up the stairs like the president, right? One of these. And the kids went ahead with Carla. They got through their little security check, showed their passports, got on the bus to go to the plane. They stopped Dave and I because we were in an emergency row. And they said, oh, you have too many kids to be in an emergency row. And they were trying to like change our seats or get us off the, and Dave lost it. He was like, we just deplaned. Our kids are on that bus. They're going up the stairs right now to get on the plane. We're here. There was no problem on the last plane. Why is there a problem on this plane? He was so pissed. And here we are in Mexico. And I'm thinking, do not piss off the airline people, the TSA, any of it. Like, this is what's in a time of COVID. Everyone's under high stress. And I'm like, honey, it'll be okay. Don't worry. So I'm trying to calm him down, which is making him madder. The whole thing. Oh my God. And
does he get like explosive mad? Like scary mad?
He gets real calm.
That's intense.
At first, but intense. And then he starts sweating and then his face gets red.
Ooh.
And then he has a little break, but it's not bad. But I know that behind the scenes, he's boiling. And if anyone touches him or pushes, he might explode. Yeah. So it was this girl that was like, the rule is if you have this many kids, you have to sit with them. There can't be two parents away from all those kids, and they're too young to be in the emergency row, and this whole thing. So anyway, it worked out. Like somehow the manager came over and was like, no, they're okay. So let us on. And hopefully it was, maybe they could read Dave's mood, but I was like,
it's about
dude,
to go postal.
Yeah, he was really, so he got on that plane and
when was he like that before? Just quick diversion. Has he exploded ever?
I'm trying to think. No, he's usually really calm, but then vents to me and then takes it out in words, like with letters and actions, like Mr. Lawyer, you know. So I'm surprised he hasn't written a letter yet because, they also, we paid extra for these seats going there and we didn't get them. We got moved to the back with the regular, but they still gave us free drinks. So that like quelled him a little bit. And then the whole thing with changing the resort contract, like, I'm sure there's going to be some letter writing, but right now.
We had to sit with the common people.
I know.
We had to sit with the
It was
That's
one
a great
row
pulp
back.
Song.
It was two extra inches for his knees and one row back. And we're like, what? You're not going to give us drinks, but you'll give row 8 drinks, but not row 9 or whatever it was. And the lady kind of rolled her eyes and was like, okay, we'll give you some drinks. It's like, we paid for these drinks. I'm like, $60 beers here. These are good. But
oh my God.
Anyway, if anyone deals with travel stuff, how do you deal with it? Do you just calmly seethe, or do you write a letter, or do you forget it, move on? I'm always curious how other couples deal with this.
I like to think of the days of the donkey. Because there were days when we had to use a donkey in a cart. That would have been your
Jesus.
travel to Mexico.
Yeah, this is true.
As long as you don't
Keep
call
it
him
simple.
Lord Jesus.
How many, it takes like 14 hours to drive to Cabo or something. So I wonder how long a donkey would take. It'd be a while.
That was what we had to do, ladies and gents. Ladies and gents, we used to have to take donkeys and carts, horses and carts. Now we're in these planes.
Yeah.
By the way, not to put a damper on this whole thing, but airplanes, if you've ever seen the 60 Minutes episode on what happens with the mechanics working on airplanes, a lot of people don't speak. Okay, I'm not going to. Well, that's the truth. There's a lot of people that they read the manual and don't know the English language and read the manual on how to fix airplanes because the airline companies are trying to save money. So they go and they fast track a lot of people from India to go through the airplane maintenance programs, and half do not know exactly how to fix the planes. And they did a whole 60 Minutes on it, which is why a lot of the planes are having issues. But and they're
glad you told me now after I flew, not before. All right, well, we'll address that in a future episode. Let's do a deep dive 60 Minute style.
Yeah.
All right. I sound like a jerk. This whole episode, I'm going to sound like a big, snotty...
She's not. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that my sister, we grew up with no money, and
I'm the cheap one of the couple.
College, you're the cheap one of the, but also it's life. You know, everybody chooses their path. I've chosen the path to destruction. My sister has chosen the path to a resort life. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So everyone.
No, Dave just turned out to be a nice, well-earning lawyer dude. But when I met him, he was wearing a backwards hat and ripped shorts. I mean, we were both like little science geeks that we didn't know where it would end up, but it just worked out. So.
Yeah, but you also chose the power hitter. You know what you're doing.
Do I? I don't know. I think it was just luck. He was cute. What could I do? No. Okay. Last point. Talking about cute husbands. When you travel with kids, folks, do you still find time to make whoopee? Do ya? Now, what do people do when they're all in one room and there's two beds and all the kids have gone to sleep? Do you? We had our own little room. Well, no, in the hotel room. If you're all in one hotel room.
Yeah, but you had like 5 rooms, so it was.
Yeah, we had our own room.
Close?
No, everything was good. It was like being in a house where we stayed. So for us, it was business as usual. Little Mexico things happened. It was all good.
Did you hump more or hump less?
Oh,
you brought it up.
Maybe more.
Really?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like talking about my sex life on this, except I just wanted to know about romance in general. You feel all romantic when you go travel, and so you want to like kiss and hug and pat and things.
Were you extra kissy huggy?
I think. I don't know. Yeah. Plus, there's like some beer flowing and margaritas and dancing.
How much did you drink a day on average? 4 or more?
Oh, yeah. We always had a bucket of beer at the pool. Yeah, but it feels like
Were you
water.
Hungover the whole time?
No. It's mellow. It's not like we got wasted or anything. Although the last night we had to finish all the beer we bought at the store, so it's like you have to eat everything the last day. So we have leftover night the last day. So we went over to Carla's and she had a bunch of beer. So I got a little tipsy that night. But yeah, it was all good.
You don't get tipsy otherwise? Like you weren't.
I do, but then it wears off. You know, it's mellow. It's not like crazy. Yeah, so I'm always curious what people do on vacation if you have to hold back because you're in the same room with your kids, and even though you want to feel all romantic, or do you sneak off, or do you, like, what do you do? Or do you use the, like, kids club and send the kids off there so you can have a night to yourselves?
Do you suck off the eyeballs and throw the fish back in the water?
I know, the fish.
Do you bite the head off? No.
Anyway, I have so many questions. I'm always curious how people travel. So write in if you would like to discuss, and we'll be posting stuff about this. But yeah, it was a great trip. I'm glad I did it. I feel like it helped get rid of some of my COVID anxieties, and I encourage everyone to safely get out there and travel too. You too, Weens. Do it.
Do it.
Mexico awaits.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
All right, let's close it out. And thank you, everybody, for coming and taking this lovely journey to Cabo San Lucas with my sister.
I would sing some nice Cabo song, but I don't know any. We'll put
Just kidding. Take that out.
Maybe you can do a nice closing song that'll be playing under this right now as we finish out talking, but we do want to say thank you to everybody for listening. We really, really appreciate you, especially our patrons. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to join our little Patreon family, go to patreon.com/mouseandweens, where we post unedited episodes, videos, outtakes. You get a swag bag, you get shout outs and all sorts of fun stuff, even songs written to you. And for a mere $5 a month, it's nothing. So we really appreciate you. You're keeping us afloat. So thank you to Jody and Alexander and Megan and Carla and Joyce. You're the best. Anyone else who wants to talk to us, we're on mouseandweens.com. That's our hub for everything. You can find us on all social media at Mouse and Weens. Spell it all out. And do please tell a friend. That's the best way we can grow. If you have anything you'd like to say, write us. We're everywhere. mouseandweens@gmail.com.
Make it nice.
And all that good stuff. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Love you too, Weens. Bye.
Things are looking gray. Clouds roll by each day. Can't see through the air. Fog won't go away. Even though it seems we're living in a dream, things aren't as bad as they seem. Things are looking grim. Lights are growing dim. When we're here without, we must look within. Even though we're in the middle of a scene, things aren't as bad as they seem. Things are just a little out of whack, but soon the world will fall back into place. Until then, I'd love to fix your mask, then long to see the rest of your face. So when the world is blue, there's no looking through. Life is but a dream. This has all come true. Even though the moon still shines all her beams, we still have to wait for a vaccine. Things may not be great, but let's not overstate. Things aren't as bad as they seem. Things aren't as bad as they seem.
Did you know that the Podfix Network, home of Pop-Up Filmcast, Fish Nerds, Always Never Right, and more, has its own network podcast? Go wherever fine podcasts are found and look for Podfix Presents. Network highlights, interviews, roundtables, and more, all showcasing the eclectic depth of Podfix talent. So, subscribe today. Podfix Presents on your podcast app of choice. And check us out at www.podfixnetwork.com, at Podfix on Twitter, and official_Podfix on the gram. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.
This was a podcast of the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.